Okay, well, I'm on the layout. I was testing the rollability, you might say. I had a lot of stiction early on, but I think we've got it solved. It will roll nicely, and I'll explain what I found. Two things. I did find resin in the bronze bushings, and I think I have a stick of that left. Yeah, here. I sprayed this with electronics cleaner, and that one, it softened up the tip, and I could cram it into the hole, and then I swish it around like that, and this stuff came out. Then I checked the shafts, and I wiped all the shafts down, okay? This is not the only Q-tip. I did 3 of these. There's another one. Not quite as bad. There's another one worse than those two somewhere. I might have tossed it. At any rate, I had that problem because I used this resin flux, and you know, it kind of comes out if you're not careful. See, it kind of comes out. So if I get too much, especially when you're trying to solder onto the side of a rivet, it'll run underneath and then kind of suck up the bottom and get inside there. And it was gummy. I could tell you, I had a white residue, and I also saw it on the axle. One in particular, it was like it was frozen, like an old car, and the brakes were rusted shut. Okay. Now the other thing, if you'll notice, you'll see a few shims out here. These are 20,000s, and I had to go get my 10s. I had widened this long reach one considerably. I won't say considerably. I think about 0.4, 0.6 millimeters. I had not done these. These are the short runs, and then what this will allow us to do is to have a nice tight coupling. It won't stick out 3 yards more than anybody else. It'll be nice and tight. And I made clearance for everything clearance, so don't worry. I lowered this one 2 millimeters as well, so it's down nice and tight. The coupler will not stick out a yard. It'll stick out exactly what we want it to. Same with the front, or that's the rear. This is the rear. Sorry. And so spacing got to be a real problem. And at one point, the two trucks' side frames were looking like this. Just like, what? Like, I heat something up, or did I warp, or what? And I just found that one of these axles was a little wider, and he was stuck. Where was he stuck? Oh, he was right here. The wide one was stuck in the middle, and that from here, that just spread all this out. And then I had a narrow one here, and oh, geez. Anyway, I went back and forth. I measured them. I checked them again, and then I sort of selected them. And then I put 20 in at first, and it just froze everything. Wouldn't roll. Was tight. What the hell? Oh no, it wasn't. It was free, but this truck fell out. Just fell out on the track, test rolling. Geez. So I take it all apart. I put one on the inside. Take it out. No, it's too tight. So then I put a 10 on the outside. And then it just sort of dialed in. Everything rolls nice and smooth. It turns, and it rolls, and it's going to be just exactly what it needed. So what I need to do on these short-tongued ones, the pivot truck with a short tongue, is add 10,000ths to each side. And then 10,000ths of an inch, which I don't know what that is. We'll figure it out another day. But that'll take care of it. So these are ready. All I do is take this screw out. I don't touch any of the adjustments. I put this piece back in, and Leon can mount this onto a metal Hudson chassis, because it's the exact same dimensions, or he could put it on his. Now, disclosure, he sent me a video, a picture of the K5 that I built about 3-4 weeks ago. We put a lot of work in that. We got the smoke and all that working, puff and chuff. And he sent me a video, and the frame was warping. The 3D printed frame I think it's like the back end. Here's where the fan would go. When I took the fan off, I had the fan on, but the fan goes here. The power board goes here. Now, here's the deal. This power board is digital, and it runs on 5 volts. But these chips here get really hot, and they actually pass the heat through the board. And in this case, they're not up on a frame of some kind. You know, I had a frame for the Atlantics that I set it up on, and that isolated it somewhat from the base. Added a couple millimeters, but it was worth it. So I could pre-assemble everything on this frame. I have one somewhere. Over here, over there. I don't. At any rate, I may try that on this one just to test it. And I may send one to Leon. But anyway, now that this warped, you really not much you can do with it. Once it bends from the heat, it's pretty shot. So I'll have to print him a new one. And when I do, I'm going to put it in my annealer. Oh, I don't have it set up, but I explained that to him. I put 120 degrees C of air around the frame in a tin, like one of my wife's Christmas tins, you know. She doesn't know. I cut a hole in the side and stuck it. It's fine. It was okay. It was one that was dented, so I got it. Anyway, I blow this 120 degree C air with this inside it, nothing else, just the plastic part. And it causes the molecules of plastic to kind of fuse a little more. And 20 minutes of that, and you'll not only strengthen, but you create more heat resistance. So I'm going to have to think about that on the, and also add that insulator board that I had before. The only thing I'd have to change then would be longer mounting screws. So the mounting screws I chose are these really nice, I really like these Allen head, but they're short. They're like a 3/16 or something like that. So I'd have to get this, I'd like to get that same screw, but twice as long. So it can go through the fastener and then also onto here as that isolator. And that part, I would anneal that one as well. So they're both heat resistant. Oh, and between them, I could put a little piece of that aluminum insulating tape so I could keep the heat off of the chassis as well that way. Something I hadn't seen on our big guy over here. Of course, he has a fan too, you know. He has a fan. So that's a little different. Oh boy, he's got the wires. I have to say, I built a pair of wires for Robert to test on his engine because he's running digital and he needs all-wheel pickup. And he didn't know where he could get it, and I sent him some. But I had to form them all. I formed 4 of them in about 5 minutes. So I don't know. I think maybe I made it more complicated than it was for some of you guys and scared you off. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm going to keep doing it for the two axle trucks because it's just so much easier. All right, well, that's where the day went, more or less. I made the short tongue trucks, reassembled, wheels were stuck, cleaned them, refitted them, tested everything, cleaned the bushings, spaced it out, unspaced it, spaced it more, and then finally got it happy. And now it rolls nice, it conducts, all the wheels pick up. And I'm going to take him off of this chassis. I don't think he needs this. Maybe I'll message him and see if he needs it. He can have it. I got to glue it together. I didn't glue it together. I was just using it to fit this and test it. And test it with the tender on. Oh, yes, let's do that. See, the coal goes in the front, I think. Yeah. I have to do it this way. Doing it one-handed is always... It's not my good hand. It's not my good hand. And I'm not coordinated anyway, so I don't know what to say. Oh, this isn't the right... How did I do that? I'm on the wrong... Can't be right. I've been working on this for months, weeks. How did that happen? That's crazy. Well... I don't know what happened. Oh, shoot. Murphy. I scare myself. I just scare myself. All right, so now I'm scared. At any rate, this is this is the right body. Oh, what a dupe. That was a K5 if you didn't recognize it. Oh, God. All right, there we are. Now we're on it. That one's a little hangy downy, but I guess that's just the way they are because of offset. But when you look at them and you get down them with the real one, really fits nice. It really does. And it turns, it looks balanced. It has the same spacing as the other now. As you can see, you don't see the connector, but when you bolt it in, when you screw that on, let me get it with my other hand, hold it up like this. You'll see, well, if this was the back, let's do it on the back so you know what the hell I'm talking about. There you go. Do it in the back. There you go. That's how the coupler is going to be sitting like that far out. You see? So yeah, you can get to it. It'll be still there and all, but it won't be sticking way out like it was like with this longer piece. I can show you right there. That pivot's there. My finger's stuck to it. That pivot's there, and this one is going to pivot right there. So you can see that much shorter. So it's really going to look a lot nicer. I didn't want this nub, but I cut the nub down. I got it to work. So that's going to be great. It rolls now. I got all this figured out. Boy, you know, you get to that 90%, and you're 90% done, and you still got a lot left, and there's a reason for it. Okay, that's the show. That's all I got done today. Isn't that crazy? And now I'm waiting for my drill to come in so I can get the work. Actually, it's not just a drill. It's a drill press with a 1/2-inch chuck, but I'm not telling Margaret. I think it'll fit right on that corner. Right there. It's a bench top, so it's not very tall. And I think I'll just fit it right on that corner, and I'll use it, and then it may turn out to be the Z-axis for the CNC if I can find a way to motorize the Z-axis on it with a stepper motor and tie it into my CNC. Then I'll move my XY table over there too. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes, one thing at a time. I'm going to be drilling holes like crazy. Very accurate, smooth, you know, none of this hand drilling crap anymore. And that'll be a big step. And then I gotta order more boards. Dan is doing a bang up job getting the boards put together for us and delivering them to people too, by golly. So something you need, motor control board, smoke boards, he's got it. All right, gang, that's gonna do it. It's Monday, trash night. I have my checklist. Okay, later, guys.